It's 1.20, so you want to build a brand spanking new gold farm for your Minecraft 1.20 world. This farm produces 250 gold ingots, 5,000 gold nuggets, and 5,000 rotten flesh every single hour, which makes it a must-have piglin trading and villager trading. If this video helps you out, then don't forget to subscribe and leave a like on this video. And if instead of watching this tutorial to build the farm and you want to build it from a schematic, then you can find my Lightmatica schematic on my Patreon. Links down below in the description. Thank you all so much to all my patrons. You guys are amazing. And let's go to the Nether. So once you're in the Nether, you need to look for one of these biomes. This is the Nether Waste, and you can confirm that by pressing F3 and looking up here on the biome line, and it says biome Minecraft Nether Wastes. So that confirms we're in the Nether Wastes. And once you're in this Nether Wastes biome, what you need to do is build all the way up to the top of the bedrock layer, and as you can see, any second now we will hit some bedrock. And what you want to do is, once you're up here, you want to dig around until you find a piece of bedrock that is at the Y level of 127. Now you can confirm this by pressing F3, and as you can see on the right side, there's this targeted block number. It says targeted block and then the coordinates of the block you're looking at, and you want to find a block that says targeted block 127. So we're going to carry on digging around in here until we find that targeted block of 127, and this may take a little bit of time, but once you find it, it is obviously definitely worth it. And there we go. I think this should be the targeted block of 127. So once you've found this block, what you need are at least 2 ladders and then an ender pearl and a torch. And the way you get onto the nether roof is by placing down your 2 ladders, holding your ender pearl and climbing up the ladders. And as you can see, I'm still holding forward on my keypad. I'm still holding down W, so I'm moving side to side. And what you want to do is, while you're still holding forward, hold your ender pearl and look at this sort of angle. It doesn't really matter as long as it's this sort of angle. And you want to use your ender pearl while still holding forward, and you'll teleport through the bedrock. And because you're still pressing forward, you'll stand on top of the ladder. And as you can see, you are on the roof now. Then what you want to do is just mark the block you came in through. And then once you've done that, it might be worth placing down your nether portal that we mentioned earlier, just so you have your route back if you need it. Of course, you don't have to go back through it, but it's definitely handy to keep it around just in case you need a way out. Or if you want to break the piece of bedrock so you can go back down, then check out my How to Break Bedrock in Minecraft 1.20 video. It'll be linked in the iCards and down in the description. So the first thing we're going to need to do is... What is that? Hey, I got something cool to show you. For FlexiSpot's 7th anniversary, they sent me one of their incredible E8 desks. And watch till the end, as they're giving you the chance to win one for free. This is the black walnut version, and I have to say, the quality speaks for itself. I accidentally knocked it when I was moving, but thanks to the amazing packaging FlexiSpot do, there wasn't a scratch, which is good, because the surface finish on the desk is incredible. It is so smooth. Look how my phone glides on it. Like, what? Putting the desk together was incredibly simple. The instructions were so easy to read, even an 8-year-old could build it. And it probably goes low enough for an 8-year-old too. Talking about height, I'm quite a tall guy. But with the E8, you don't need to worry about it being too tall, as it goes way higher than you'll ever need it to be. After 3 weeks of using the FlexiSpot E8 desk, I can confidently say that this is the best desk I have ever used. Being able to switch the height whenever I want is an amazing feature, and the desk is really deep, which means I can properly spread my things out on it. You're also able to attach clamp-on devices all the way around, and it's strong enough to hold my triple monitor arm. And the included keypad is incredibly easy to use, allowing you to set 4 individual heights. If you'd like to get your own FlexiSpot E8 desk, then head down into the description and check out the first link when you can find my E8 desk. And also, because it's FlexiSpot's 7th anniversary, they have a sale at the moment with up to 50% off with a £120 discount on my E8 standing desk. This offer is running from August 28th to September 1st, and something else that's running between August 28th and September the 1st is on August the 28th, August the 31st, and September the 1st, the first 10 orders placed at 10 AM can have a full refund. And FlexiSpot don't want to stop giving away free stuff. If you subscribe to their website, you'll be entered into a chance to win a PS5. You can check that all out down in the description, and thank you so much to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. Well, That was very strange and unexpected. Anyway, so the first thing you're going to want to do is build up a column of scaffolding all the way up to the height limit. So anywhere you want, I'd recommend probably close to where you came through, just in case if you, I'd recommend close to the torch where you came through, just because if you want to break the bedrock, then at least you have the way back up. Again, making sure that it is in the nether wastes biome that you were in originally. And remember, you're also going to need about 60 blocks space total, so about 60 blocks across. And as long as you have that in the nether wastes, you should be fine. So once you have your area sorted, you can build up all the way to the height limit with your scaffolding. There we go, we've now reached the height limit, and once you've done that, you want to go all the way up to the top of your scaffolding pile. And once you're at the top of the scaffolding, you want to break yourself down until your Y level. So if you bring up your F3 screen, you can see X, Y, and Z. You want your middle number or your Y number to be 246. So you want to break down 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once we're at the top here, what you want to do is grab your leaves, and off the side of the scaffolding, you want to come out 2 blocks, then go 1 in, 2 blocks, 1 in, 2 blocks, 1 in, 1 in, and then 2 blocks like that. So from the centerpiece of scaffolding, you got 2 blocks in each direction, and then link it up with a little diagonal block. And then what you want to do is on top of the diagonal blocks, build up 1 more. You then come and build that around the sides like so, and that sort of links them all up together. So then you're left with sort of like a cross encased in like a thick cross. And once you've done that, you then want to come underneath with chests and place chests on the bottoms of the jutting out blocks. And then you can grab your hoppers, break the leaves on the edges, and then replace them with hoppers that are facing into these chests. These chests will be the collection systems on which the zombie piglins die and drop all their goodies. And then on top of the hoppers, you want to come in and place in a rail, and you want to make sure that the rail is facing this way rather than this way, because if the minecart's on there, it'll just come off like so. You want to make sure that the rail is facing this way so it stays on there when the zombie piglins have fallen on. So make sure to place that in the correct direction for all of the different sides. And then this one's a bit of a kicker. This one's the tough one. You want to place in 24 minecarts into each of these blocks. Now that's a lot of iron. That is approximately 480 iron in total. So I'd recommend building an iron farm before you do this, just because it makes getting all of the iron so much easier. And I gotta say, mining all of that iron is so tough, and if you had the iron farm makes it so much easier. Like, you'll spend less time building the iron farm than you will collecting all that iron. So I'd highly recommend actually building the iron farm. I have a tutorial, I'll link it in the top right of the screen right now if you want to go check that out. But we're going to put 24 minecarts on top of each of these. That is 96 in total. So let's do that now. Perfect, and now we have minecarts placed in each of the spots. What we want to do now is grab ourselves some slabs, and you want to break the blocks that are in front of the hoppers and replace them by lower half slabs. As you can see, it's on the lower half of the block. And then you also want to place slabs on the upper half of the block next to the minecart. So as you can see, lower half, top half, perfect. And then you can place slabs on top of those as well. Now you may need another piece of scaffolding in the middle, or another couple of pieces of scaffolding in the middle, and if you need to, then definitely place more scaffolding just so it's easy to get in and out of the actual farm. I'll show you whereabouts you should be positioning yourself in a little bit. You then want to grab your leaves again, and you want to come 5 blocks out from the center block. So we got 1 here already, then we go 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see from the center block, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the diagonal, and you want to do that on all 4 sides. So we got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can do that on the other sides too. And once we have those diagonals, we then want to fill them all in so we have a full square. Great work, so now we have the main central platform, and what we want to do now is grab some stairs alongside 2 different types of slabs. Now you don't need 2 different types of slabs, But the only reason we're using two different types of slabs is because if you place one down, you can then place a different type of slab and it immediately goes separate like this. If you use the same slab they place on top of each other, and it just makes this next bit a little bit difficult because you need to have the slab separation, just so the mobs can see you when you're sat in between them. So using alternating block types is pretty good here because it just makes our job so much easier. What you then want to do is grab your stairs and place one in front of each minecart. And then once you have your stairs placed in, grab that first slab that you used here and just make a box around all of the stairs with them being in the outermost line. Great work, it should look something like this. And then what you want to do is when you're looking at the stairs, come over to the two right blocks and just break those. So this is what it should look like front on, and you can do it for all of the 4 slides. So come in, break the 2 that are on the right corner, and do that for all 4 sides again. Now that you've placed in this bottom layer, you then want to grab your second slab. Again, you don't have to have a second slab, you could build it like this, but it just adds a bit more effort doing it like so. So grab yourself a second slab, and you basically want to trace the edge of this all the way around. So we're going to build in the first blocks here, and then go around like so, but we're not going to build above this block. That's because the zombie piglins are going to walk in like this, and they're going to fall down into there. So we're not going to place one above here, but we're basically going to trace the rest of it. So come around here, miss that one block here, carry on tracing that around, and it should look a little something like that on the next layer. Again, remember, you're missing out that block so the zombie piglins can fall down. And then what you want to do for the final layer, grab the slab and just build another layer that exactly mimics the last one you did. And the whole thing should look something like this. What you then want to do is grab yourselves a trapdoor. Now this could be any type of wooden trapdoor. It doesn't matter what type as long as it's wooden. And you want to place that on top of this top middle slab like so, and then open it like that. And you want to do that for all 4 of the sides. And then once these are all placed down and open, you then want to break the block behind them. This basically means that the zombie piglins think that they can come and walk over and kill you like so, but they can't because they're open. They run in like this, and then they fall and die by getting entity crammed. Great work, that is now the center platform all constructed. And now we're on to the easy but repetitive part. This is probably the most complex bit other than the rings, which as long as you're following me perfectly is absolutely fine. So for the next step, we want to start building out some bridges. So the way that this works is there's a giant circle around the edges where all of the zombie piglins spawn. They run down the center to try and kill you. Meanwhile, more spawn while these ones die, and it just sort of refreshes that way. But for them to run over, we need to build a bridge. And so we're going to use our oak leaves again, or any type of leaves that you'd like. And we want to go 24 blocks from the center. So as you can see, that is the center. This is 0. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we want to build out another 19 blocks. I'm going to count along, and then I'm going to mark them so you guys will be able to see how long the paths are a little bit easier. So let's start now. So we go from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then on this 25th block, we want to build some magma. And then once you've done this, you want to build out 2 more blocks and build it all the way back, and then you want to go 2 blocks out on the other side as well. So that's how long it should be. As you can see, the first slab is in line with the first block of the bridge, and then the last slab is also in line with the last block of the bridge too. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we got the 19 blocks here, plus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and that makes up a total of 24 blocks. And then on this last block, we have the 25th block, which is the first spawnable block that, well, mobs can spawn on from when someone is standing this far away. So once we have built this first path, we then want to build 3 more of these. So we're going to do the exact same thing with our leaves, but on the 3 other sides. There we go. So I've now checked the length of each of the bridges and they're all 19 blocks long. So the next thing we're going to want to do is build the rings. Now, a good way to prep for how we're going to be building the rings is making sure that we're setting up the layers correctly. So as long as we started at the right height, then this shouldn't be an issue. If we stand on the bridge, we can see our Y level is 247. This should be the same for you guys if you followed the steps correctly. And going from a Y level of 247, what you want to do is at the end Magma Blocks, build up 2 blocks, then make an extra line of 3, then build up 2 more blocks, build an extra line of 3, then build up 2 more blocks from there, and then on the lower half of the slab, so not the upper half, not this upper half here, on the lower half of the slabs, we want to build a layer of slabs. And as you can see, we've done this on all 4 sides, and we're going to build the rings off of this. Also, we don't need the slabs anymore. You guys can get rid of that if you would like to. We're also going to be working with magma in this next split. Now, magma can be really, really tricky to build on, but a good hack for you guys is if you wear Frostwalker boots. So if you wear boots with the Frostwalker enchantment, then you don't actually take damage from standing on magma. We're placing a lot of magma, and it's definitely helpful when doing this. So to build the circle, my recommendation is starting from the slab layer and working your way down, just because if you build the magma layer first, then ghasts can spawn if there aren't any blocks above. So by building the slab layer first and working your way down, so doing the slab, then this layer of magma, then that layer of magma, and then that layer of magma, you then avoid any risk whatsoever of having any ghasts spawn. So to build the slab layer, what we first want to do is going from the central block above the magma, we want to go out in this formation. Now, I'll just pause the screen here for you guys to be able to see. So going from the central slab above the magma, you want to go along 5, then 3, then 3, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, and then 1. And then my recommendation is then starting from the other side and then doing the exact same thing. So going from the central block again, you want to come out 5, then 3, then 3, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, and then you should meet back up with this central block. But that's the first layer of the ring. And then what you want to do after doing the first layer is come to the end and you want to go out 5 more blocks. So this is our first block here, and then you want to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is our end block here. As you can see, we've got the first one here, then a spacing of 4 blocks, and then our last one here. But to build the outer ring of slabs, what you want to do is come out from the center block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, and then 1. And then again, I recommend going to the other side again and building out another 5 blocks. As you can see, first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then doing the exact same backwards. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then that should meet up with the other block again. And there you go, you should have built the 2 rings. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, then make sure to drop a comment down below. As well, 1, I love reading your comments, and 2, I'm always here to help. And then once you've built the rings on one corner, you then want to build them on the other 3. But once you've built this first ring, it'll be super easy to build it on the other ones. 1, because you've already done it, and 2, because you can copy this one over. It also helps if you have a schematic mod like Litematica, as you can just take a schematic, sit in the middle and rotate it around, and then you can just build from that schematic. That is a super easy way to do it. And if you don't want to have to build this whole farm yourself, I also have schematics for this farm on my Patreon. If you want to just build this straight from a schematic, then check out my Patreon and you can find the whole thing there, and you can build it without having to watch this tutorial. You can just build it straight from the schematic. Now that the rings have been copied all the way around, what you then want to do is grab your slabs again and then just fill them in on the inside. Your shift key is going to be loving you after this because, well, you're just going to be shifting so much, filling the whole thing in. We've now filled in the slab layer, so you can go ahead and just fill in the magma layer. following exactly what you did for the slab layer. As you can see, I've now sketched the outer layer, so all we have to do is fill in the inside. Again, the frost walking boots would probably come along really handy in here. I know that you can crouch and it negates the damage, but it's not as nice as just being able to stand up and actually walk around without being burned. And there we go, we filled in the magma layer, and so what you want to do now is do that for the whole ring all the way around, and then just copy that and do that for the next layer and the layer below. And there we go, I have now built all of the layers of magma. As you can see, we have a whole bunch of piglins that have spawned in. So the last thing that you want to do is grab some slabs and some boats, and you want to come to the edges down here. So you know the two little blocks on the outer edge, which is sort of where the two sides meet. What you want to do is build out a platform that is 3 blocks long, like this. So you go 1, 2, 3, like that. And then what you want to do is grab a zombified piglin, put them in a boat, and you want to drive that zombie piglin onto the edge of this platform. Once they're there, you can then hop off the boat, come back over, break that little platform there, and the zombie piglin will stay in the corner. You do this because once you're in the farm, you want to be sitting at this sort of level, and as this guy's in the corner, you'll be keeping eye line, and basically because they can't attack you, but these guys can, they'll tell the other zombie piglins that are spawning to be mad at you, and it just keeps the farm running. So you want to do this on all 4 sides in these same corners. And then once you have zombified piglins in each of the corners like so, you only need 4. You want to grab yourselves some snowballs. Oh, well, I mean, if the zombified piglins are this close, you don't need to. But grab yourself some snowballs if you want to shoot them. If they're this close, you can just punch them. Also, remember, guys, make sure to place a torch down on this block so nothing can spawn there. But once you have the snowballs, you can either shoot one or punch one. They'll all get mad at you, and you can hop down into the level like so. So you keep eye line with the ones in the corners, and all of the zombie piglins will come, get mad, and as you can see, oh, they're not having the nicest finish to their day. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you all for watching till the end. If it did help you out, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like for the video, because it really helps the channel out. You guys have been giving me so much support recently, and I can't thank you enough. Also, a quick shout out to all my patrons. You guys are amazing, and thank you so much for all of the support. If you also want to gain access to all of my farm schematics like my patrons do already, then make sure to head down into the description and join my Patreon to gain access to all of my awesome farm schematics and world downloads. Thank you again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check them out down in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!